think it's going. So here at our company, it's very important um, for us to avoid future problems. And one of the best ways we can do this is by staying informed, and all employees and employers to be up to date on employment law. So today we're here to talk about the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act. And we're going to look at the history of this Equal Pay for Equal Work Act, what it means and why it's important. So according to the UNSW Law Journal, the gender pay gap is now wider than it's been within the past few decades. The average female weekly ordinary time earnings are 17.5% less than the average male weekly ordinary time earnings. So now let's get into a little bit about the 3 different types of discrimination in the workforce. So the first is the allocative discrimination. This involves discrimination in hiring, promotions, or layoffs. The next is establishment wage discrimination. This has something to do with women being paid lower wages than men within the same occupation and the same establishment. And the last discrimination that we're going to talk about is discrimination, evaluative discrimination, and this occurs when employers pay less for jobs filled primarily by women than jobs filled primarily by men. So now we're going to get into a little bit of what the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act actually is and what it means. So the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act ensures that there will not be a wage differential based on sex or any other factor that's not directly related to your work performance. So what this means here at our company is that we want to ensure that diversity is embraced and everyone has an equal chance to compete within the workforce. The gender pay gap has been an issue for many years, and we want to make solving this issue one of our #1 priorities here at our company. Now I'm going to hand things off over to Ty.
How we doing, y'all? We're looking at the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act and how it has changed. As Noah touched base on, he talked about how it is mainly about men and women not being paid equal pay for equal work. And so they changed this by when people go in for interviews, they will not be allowed no longer to ask about their prior wage rates. So if somebody got paid $15 an hour at a prior job, companies are no longer allowed to use that information to pay them the same rate or less. As well, they are not allowed to discriminate employees based upon this information. And employers knowing this information, they cannot use this to make life harder for employees or to, in a way, intimidate them to take a job that is paying less than what they should be paid based upon men and women's wages. As well, these changes were made, but there will be differences in pay that are allowed. This being said, there will only be pay differences allowed when there is a seniority or a merit system. So if somebody has been there for a long time and they want to be able to be paid more, that will be allowed even if it is a male or a female. As well, if there was a merit system in place beforehand. As well, there is also going to be pay based upon quality or number of products produced. So if somebody creates more products in a given time period, they will be allowed to be paid more for their work that is based upon them working harder than their coworker. And then to go on, if somebody is working the same exact job, but if it is in a different location, they will be allowed to be paid more just because of the living rate is going to be higher in that area in a big city compared to a rural area. And the last one is going to be pay based upon education level or training. So if somebody has a higher education level, or if they have training that an employee of the same job does not have, this will allow them to be paid more. And now on to Hayden.
Alrighty. Ty and Noah kind of explained the bulk of things, but how will this kind of affect our work environment? I know all positions here at our company, they will now be viewed as equal, and this will allow for kind of our work environment to be professional and also friendly, but it will also allow our work environment to be very competitive as well. So now that all of our employees are equal, kind of receiving the same pay, they now all have the same opportunities, such as closing the pay gap, cutting a huge pay gap in the poverty line. And this will also allow for equal and fair job postings. So those are kind of the three biggest things that are going to affect our work environment.
Thank you guys for listening. And that is how our company is going to be enacting the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.